The next rubric in the functionality section, content changes, is the updates, the basic functionality of addition, updation, deletion is made to the data quickly, and the calculations are correctly stored as well, and they are retrieved as well. So let's start with a situation here where we go ahead and create an application and look at what changes we can make to the new record that we have created or the new application detail that we have added in. We'll see if that is effective and it does come through to us on the dashboard or on the application details page. And then we can also log in as an owner and check, try to make a change to the responses to a survey that we are allowed to edit, and then we can see how it affects the status. So let's start with an admin role. Joshua Parker is the admin here again, and I've already logged in. So I will try to get to the dashboard page, which will not have any details. What I'm going to do is search, I'm going to go in and add an application here, a new application, a fresh application. I'll just give it a name that we don't know, or I know doesn't exist, otherwise I'll probably get an error. I'll call it 7NTR, and I'm going to just select two categories. I'm going to call Ram Chaudhary as the owner, and I'm going to set a status here, probably green. Not to worry, this is going to be overwritten once the survey is created and responded to by Ram or Sondra. So this has been now added successfully. If I scroll down, I can see that next gen tax reform is right here with some of the changes that I put in. If I go ahead and edit this app and probably make a change here, maybe make a change in the owner name, say Sondra. And if we scroll down and check, this is owned by Sondra now. And if I want to delete this, I can go ahead and delete it right here. That should refresh the screen and the detail is no more. The record is deleted. If I were to refresh this page, I should still not be able to see the record. Give it a few seconds because there's data to load and that record is missing still. So we are doing good. The record has indeed been deleted. So this is about making changes to the application, simple basic changes. We added something, we viewed the details, we deleted the record, which made some changes. Now we will go ahead and check how calculations are being taken into consideration, and if there are changes that you can actually view. Does the status change based on the calculations that has been put up in a functionality in the background? So I'll just log out and log in as an admin. And for a change, I'll just use another admin, another owner password here. This is the owner password that I mentioned here. This is the second profile, Ramil. His name is Ram Chaudhary actually. That's the name of the person, but I've just added him as Ramil. So there you go. We are in Ram Chaudhary's profile now, and we are looking at all the possible surveys he can edit and all the apps that he owns. So we can go ahead and click on any of the ones that we can make a change to. You can see that everything is in green right now. Let's just pick maybe the training policy governance 5TPG. You can do it in two ways. You can either click here and find the survey that's up for 5TPG, or you can choose to pick a survey from your right hand side dashboard view as well. So let me just try it through the survey section of this, just to show you a new page that we've covered. So I'm just going to edit this survey, and this does tell me how the status is being calculated. At the moment it is green. That is possibly because that was the default status that was loaded in. It has not been answered yes, so we'll just go ahead and mark a few responses here. The more the number of yeses, the more the chances that the app remains in green. But at this point, we have a lot of negative answers here. So this should probably go into the amber or the red zone. Based on the calculations, it should go into the red zone. Right now it's showing up as green. Once we submit this, well, once Ram submits it, it should update it to red. As you can see it here, training policy governance is marked as red. If I were to go into this page, the status remains red here as well. So this is a consistent rule which is being updated. If had I answered a few more yeses and reduced the number of no's in it, it would have probably gone into the amber zone. So this is how the calculation is set. It's a very simple calculation, and more so because it is not a real world scenario. I'm just trying to simulate one. Most of the answers that are given here are all yes or no answers, and they are simple drop downs. This is not the case when we try to actually create an application survey in real life. We may require to add in more conditions, and I am hoping that along with the checklist questions, we can also create a few columns which would allow us to set in the expected responses and how much of score we would like to assign to each response. And based on the score, we could calculate the status. Depending on the total score, we could probably set it into different status categories of amber, red or green or whatever other specific categories have been chosen. This would require a little bit of code change in the background because you are changing how the status is being calculated, and it is definitely an enhancement, but it is not something that will require a lot of impact analysis. It wouldn't break what is existing because it wouldn't make changes to the older records. It is something which is a possible and feasible enhancement, and it's good to know that it's possible because it is a Mongo database in the backend, and we can continue to add new columns into the checklist questions table.